Hello, everyone. No one, and welcome to another Talking into the Void. Uh, yep, it's another Sunday night, but with me as always is Tier Alexander. Tier, how you doing?
I'm doing good, my friend. Yourself?
Not so bad. Join us as well as Angela. Angela, how you doing?
Don't die, Rotten. At least not again. I'm doing okay. How are you?
Oh, getting a good laugh from that whole thing. And we got as well Will it Forge. Will, how you doing?
Holding up, of course.
Did you see
Otherwise,
the?
I wouldn't be here.
Did you see the thumbnail I used?
I didn't.
Well, it's in the video thumbnails. It's the one that you originally tagged me in the reply to. So I don't know if that was an AI image or the artist that actually did that, but whoever did that was awesome and full credit to them. You can find them on Twitter somewhere.
That is fantastic.
Void cheese whiz. Cat with eyes. I like it.
It's
The black cat is
fantastic.
always the void.
You are not the void.
Is
I'm a
is
void.
cat? Are cats liquid or solid? You
Liquid.
decide. Yeah,
That's not
they're
even.
solid-ish.
That's not even a challenge. Cats are liquid.
I don't know if I'd say liquid, but definitely fluid.
Okay, I'll accept that one. All right.
Hi, brother.
And what's up, clown? And while we're doing this, hopefully it goes through.
I have a part two to the.
I'm gonna play some Resident Evil 8.
Oh no.
I have a part two to the Twitter thing that I shared yesterday.
I can't
Okay.
remember which Twitter thing you shared yesterday.
The one where the guy's crashing out and he's where he's getting sued by J.K. Rowling.
Well, the lawsuit's being funded by J.K. Rowling for
Yeah.
the defamation.
Yeah. All right. So some guy writes, this is slow motion career suicide. And the guy, Mary Ann Anderson, goes, telling me to literally commit suicide on par with J.K. Rowling threatened to break into my house and murder me in my sleep. Mind you, this guy's supposed to be a writer.
What?
Yeah, this what he said. And then another one, J.K. Rowling jumps in again. Death wish is a very common phrase connotating extreme self-destructive behavior, Joseph. I'm surprised you didn't know that as an author yourself. You've been cyber stalking, harassing, defaming a friend of mine over many months, moving between different alt accounts. And then that was J.K. Rowling. Then some guy chimes in. I truly never seen a clearer case of someone putting cement shoes on themselves and blaming everyone else for drowning. And then Mary Ann Anderson goes, J.K. Rowling is going to put me in cement shoes and sink you to the bottom of the Baltic Sea. You fucking bitch. You're gonna fucking die, bitch. A statement you addressed to me. The level of reach in this guy. All right. So somebody adds on, you're a fucking clown. And then Mary Ann Anderson goes, more like I'm fucking a clown. A clown is your dead dog, babe. The level of
What?
Yeah.
There's so many unforced errors here.
Yeah, he clearly is a little special.
Just
Yeah,
a little
something.
bit special.
He's touching the head.
Possibly not the only place, but
Yeah. Some people should never just never do what they did. Posting, there you go. It will go out to my minuscule 189 followers that I'm pretty sure overlap with Rodden's 179.
Man, I got more followers on fucking Twitter than I do subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes. And I don't even fucking post that much on Twitter.
I really I
It
take
is.
that. I'm about to say I really post shit, but there'd be days I'm at work and there's nothing fucking to do, and I start posting on X.
Yeah, like
And all of a sudden, everything is on Twitter.
Yes.
it's like I occasionally just respond to some gun stuff and whatnot, and I had to deal with one guy a while ago that apparently as soon as he replies to you, he immediately blocks you.
Wow. Such a brave individual that
Yeah.
can defend his position.
Because all I said to him
The
was,
more-
you know, claiming to be, it's like a veteran, or it's like being in the military, or, you know, having served in the military does not make you an expert on guns. He
Yeah.
called,
Makes you an expert on guns.
yeah, he called Play Trucker Zach like a keyboard warrior, and he's like, unlike you, I actually served in the military, and I'm like, because it was about the force reset trigger shit. Because it started with like Play Trucker Zach saying, I think it's like CNN or MSNBC or whatnot, and it's like, you guys showing that you know nothing about guns again. And this dude just comes in with some like off the wall weird ass comment. It's, the fuck are you talking about? So he was having a whole thing with fucking Zach that he would block him after he replied, wait a little bit, unblock him so we could reply to him again,
Mhm.
and just kept fucking doing that.
That seems kind of
Stupid.
Yep.
specified, but
Yeah, I was about to really tell him with, you know, the constant blocking, then unblocking to do that whole thing. Kind of makes you seem more like the keyboard warrior.
Again, I don't block people. If I can't defend my positions, then I need to know about that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Except for when I'm right, then I'm right.
Black people very often,
um,
and never for disagreeing with me.
The only things I have blocked are ads.
Yeah, I think the only things I blocked are ads.
I've blocked the misery vultures that keep trying to con me after they see my GoFundMe.
You know what I hate? I hate that it happens on Rumble. I'm fucking tired of goddamn. Oh yeah, I can get you 100 trillion subscribers if you just email me.
Yeah, I get the ad bots, spam bots come in on Twitch when I'm streaming. It's like, okay, report it and block it,
Mm-hmm.
ban it. Oh, report and ban, report and ban, report and ban.
Yeah. I'm gonna get you a trillion billion gazillion subscribers, buddy. You just have to call me, email me there. Yeah.
Sure.
It's almost as bad as like
Definitely.
the spam messages you get on Twitter or something, to where it'll be like, oh, I saw you and you look kind of cute. It's like, I'm using a fucking avatar of that. You don't even know what the fuck I look like without going to my actual videos.
Yes. So what the fuck?
Which I still say I am still enjoying just having the picture taken of the gun and then adding stuff to it around there. And because of, I think Angela was the one who brought it up with how I put my avatar, it looks like my avatar standing next to the gun.
Yes, it was really, really cool.
So that's now a staple.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Other than of when I do the review, or not the review, but the video on the 1911s, because I forgot to take a picture. And since there's 3 of them for the 45s, I'm like, I don't know how exactly I'm going to do this.
What to play? What to play? So many games, so little time to play them all.
Yeah, because I'm trying to also, or it's like doing this and to stream or playing a game and to stream. Like, I'll play something I've already beaten a few times.
I was sort of, I wanted to be more impressed with Resident Evil 8. I wanted to be.
Resident Evil 8 is fun, but it's
Story is
lacking.
shit.
Yeah.
I think the biggest mistake they made was showing off Dimitrescu, because everyone was expecting her to be the big bad, and you
Mhm.
take her out in the fucking very first.
Yeah, she's the first of the four you take out. And you
Yeah.
can tell they put the most effort into the first and fourth anyways.
Yeah, because 2 is the girl, and you don't even fight her in reality. And then you fight Moreau, who really isn't a fucking fight. He doesn't even get a real dungeon or a real area.
Yeah.
And again, it should have. It's the way it should have been. Was that Dimitrescu was the main villain, and just kept her and have you in her castle. They just make a big ass castle. Like, it didn't need all this shit. Because Heisenberg's powers made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
yeah, all right. So Heisenberg's powers is like he has control over like electromagnetism,
Mhm.
and somehow he's creating a robot army to fight Mother Miranda that she kind of knows about, and then she wants you to kill all of her subordinates. Like, she set it up so you'd kill all of her
Yeah.
subordinates. Just to test if like the baby that she technically already has is strong enough to be her successor or her new daughter.
Well, no, in that whole thing, it's because she viewed the other four as failures, so she finally wanted a way to be rid of them, but she couldn't bring herself to do it to do it herself.
Well, technically,
Okay.
all right. So essentially, she uses your hand to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but she set everything in motion. Like, they should have known you were like the other two should have realized. Other three should have realized that you killed Dimitrescu. Like, holy shit, we can't fucking fight you.
Yeah, especially for like how much the setup was that you couldn't kill Demetress until you got the one specific sword or knife that you stab her with once.
Yeah, and that's another thing that made no sense. This random ass knife and this random ass thing that technically in a random ass area that she had no random ass chance of coming to is the one thing that can make her weak enough to kill. That there was no setup for that.
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
And even and it gets even worse because they're supposed to be molded vampires or
Mhm.
experimental vampires. So why this one random ass knife and this one random ass crypt in this random ass location in this random ass crypt on this random ass spire in her own castle?
Yeah.
This thing could kill her.
But that's
So
Resident
for
Evil games
everybody
for you.
who was trying to keep track, it's just random ass everything.
It fully fucking is.
And apparently there is a crypt inside of a crypt because
It's all right. So in order to get to the area where you get the knife, you have to go at the very basement of her castle to go all the way to the right top of her castle.
Well, on that one, it's you have to go through so you can get the key. You have to go to the basement and everything
You
of
get the
getting the key. Well, you have to get several keys.
Because there's never just one.
Yeah.
It never is.
I was just making fun of you for saying crypt twice.
I'll let somebody
And
take
random ass like a
secret.
million times.
Again, if they wanted to do this, but they like I said, they should have done. You can even keep that. Maybe have them like they're all doing like various experiments. And they're all equals in this, and your baby is like the ultimate prize.
I mean, it was supposed to be that the all of them were doing experiments.
And then the twist about him being dead.
You were talking about
Resident Evil.
why don't I remember Resident Evil being about vampires?
Well, because they're technically not vampires per se. They're what is called the molded. The experiment done on them made them into vampire-esque
Because
creatures.
of her blood or her issue.
Yeah. So they're vampire. They're vampire adjacent without actually being vampires.
'Cause
They don't
her-
have like the sunlight.
Yeah, because like
weakness.
her quote unquote daughters are insects
Yeah.
or molded insects.
Uh,
Yeah, there's a lot of it that doesn't make the most sense.
Or
Yeah.
any sense.
Like the werewolves and the werewolf being under Heisenberg's control when his thing is electromagnetism and fucking
Well, and that whole thing is just because they listen to
cyborgs.
him.
I'm going to assume that we're not talking about the uncertainty principle guy, and this is just a character that was created for the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's his name. His name is Heisenberg. And
I was a goddamn freedom fighter.
yeah. Like the only part of this game that really felt like Resident Evil was what's the doll girls section.
Oh, I figured you were gonna say like the AI and controls. Or
I
the
mean,
interface and controls.
No. Yeah, yes, hey Cameron. Literally, it's vampires, werewolf, scientifically created vampires and werewolves. Technically, Miranda styles herself as a fucking angel. She's like the Virgin Mother.
Werewolves, vampires, werewolves, and cyborgs. Oh my.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Fuck.
and giant fish people and talking fucking dolls.
Okay,
But
that
I
part's
get-
creepy.
Well, all right. So the dolls actually make sense because it's just a manifestation. It's an illusion created by one of the leaders, if you will. Like the doll isn't real. It's just that's how her molded powers are working. So you see this talking doll with followed around by this lady that doesn't say shit when it's actually just a woman using her powers.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's a whole new level of I'm not gonna talk directly to you.
Yeah, and then you got Fish Guy, Moreau, who is a weakling.
But does he have an island and a doctorate?
Well, technically, he's a fish guy, and he has an island, and I'm
kinda
assuming
does
he's a
have an island.
scientist as well.
Well, the only one close to being a scientist was Heisenberg. The rest of them were just kind of like winging shit.
Hey, you don't need a PhD to be a scientist.
My brother says there's a file in the attic that actually explains the history of the knife and why it was locked
Yeah.
in the tomb.
Okay, I must not have seen that file then.
Have
Can you
bothered
elaborate?
looking?
Yeah, they
Nope.
do have
Hey,
the
Mr.
whole
Scott.
thing in there. Oh, what's that, Mr. Scott?
Hey,
Howdy,
Mr.
feds.
Scott.
Oh, change where I'm sitting for a bit.
And hi, Hate Camel.
Go camel.
Well, that's like the funny part of how the RE2 remake got made was because someone was going through and doing the updates and shit to make their basically own clone of or updates of Resident Evil 4, the original.
I didn't like the remake of 3. They changed far too much of the game to be considered a remake. Like they created instead of like updating the areas and the textures, like they created whole fucking sequences.
Well, they were
That did
freaking
not
trying
exist.
to push that one fucking game that you got with it as well. That was the multiplayer that was like closer to like Mercenaries is.
Mm-hmm. I want them to, if they're going to
Mr.
remake
Scott.
something.
Go ahead.
But
Mr. Scott, not every role is something that Nick Cage would be suited to play.
I think it would have made a great Rico, but that's just me.
I don't think so, though I do think he could have played Clancy Brown's character.
Yeah, he could have played that too. Know what game I wish they would remake, but it probably will never get remade? The Outbreak Files. Because of how ubiquitous online
I've heard
play
a
is
lot of
now,
people would like to see the Resident Evil Outbreak ones redone.
because you weren't a special agent, you were just a regular person trying to survive the outbreak, and it gave you like what I believe like 12 characters to put different, maybe 16, between 12 characters to play as.
Yeah.
And like they all had their special ability. One was a security guard, so you could access certain security guard doors. One was a cop, well, just a regular beat cop, not STARS unit. So he had a gun automatically. One was a reporter, so she could like when she entered the room, she automatically saw shit because again, she's a reporter. One was a scientist, so she could mix chemicals. One had an extra backpack, so she had extra storage space.
Yeah, I mean, quite literally, that's what made Resident Evil 7 really good, was the fact that you had new characters, or new character you were playing as.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't playing the premise that made this one even better was because again, you were playing as a random schmuck.
Yep.
You weren't playing as Leon Kennedy, who should have seen all this. Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't playing as fresh Leon Kennedy. You were playing.
You were playing as a everyman. You were essentially playing Winston.
I am sorry that I have offended you, Hate Camel. It is just my opinion. My brother says that
Good day, madam.
should play Ace.
Nope. I wouldn't even. I'm not even going to blaspheme and say he could play Michael Ironside's character because Michael Ironsides is awesome.
But Mr. Scott, you have a very imaginative mind, but your mind seems to only imagine Nicolas Cage in various roles. So your imagination is very one track.
He has a one track mind.
No, just the imagination part of it.
Imagination.
You saying? Oh shit.
Oh, I could not even imagine that, but I might have nightmares about it now. Mr. Scott says Nick Cage shouldn't play Forrest Gump, but I can imagine it.
Rotten. You know which the one thing that pissed me off about Resident Evil 3 remake?
Your freaking things with was it Tyrant aren't randomized?
That too. That was a really pissed me off. But when she holds like the particle accelerator cannon and shit, and she charges it up and she holds it there, and she didn't kill herself holding that motherfucker. Like, so she essentially has this beam cannon that she holds like it's a regular fucking gun.
I mean, she holds it more like it's a massive gun that you have to hip fire.
Yeah, but a weapon like that
could do.
But a weapon like that would destroy her, would liquefy her. There'd be no way in hell she survives that.
We are being blamed for Mr. Scott's obsession with the many roles of potential Cage. And my brother says that Nicolas Cage replacing Jake Busey would be gold.
I don't know exactly what movie we're talking about.
Starship Troopers. Jake Busey was one of the other grunts.
Oh, I know you're talking about the one that played the violin. when him and Izzy are in the camp and they're having R&R, he grabs the violin and he starts playing. The one that got knife in the hand. That's who he's playing. Lieutenant Dan.
Hey, Camel. Everyone knows if you're going to replace any character in Starship Troopers, it should be Carmen. I'd watch Nicolas Cage play that role.
No, I wouldn't. Nope. Denise Richards should never be replaced by anybody.
My brother says Nick Cage as Lieutenant Dan and John Travolta as Forrest Gump.
Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs.
Nah, with Bubba. Haven't replaced Bubba.
Hey, I love the actor that played Bubba. He was great on Midnight Caller.
Shrimp etouffee, shrimp on a shrimp barbecue.
Thousands of ways to make scrimp.
Fried
swear,
shrimp, boiled
It
shrimp.
took all the way through basic training for him to list all of the ways to make shrimp.
Hey, that's what got him through basic.
Pretty much.
What role would I replace Nick Cage with? I would replace Kevin Bacon's character in Friday the 13th with Nicolas Cage.
Now all I could think was when you said Kevin Bacon, I was like, so put Nicolas Cage in Footloose.
Nicolas Cage isn't pretty enough to play the type of character that Kevin Bacon played in Friday the 13th.
It would just be hysterical, though, to see him in Footloose. Y'all gotta admit that's true.
I've always thought Nicolas Cage was attractive, but not pretty boy attractive.
Okay.
And Kevin Bacon was supposed to be playing a pretty boy.
Oh, Mr. Scott was thinking Tremors. That was the first thing. Well, no, that was the second thing that crossed my mind.
Oh no! You don't touch Tremors. No character in Tremors should ever be replaced by anybody. Every character in Tremors is vital, including Victor Wong.
Doesn't say even Derek Jacobi, who we all love to hate.
Yes, everybody in that. Everyone in that movie is vital.
Jacobi?
And I'm pissed that Victor Wong didn't live long enough. Like he should at least live to the third movie.
I think Derek Jacobi's actually the older.
I mean, the only ones who survived, other than the main characters of, or the two lead characters of the first one, they originally are obviously Bert, and then
his wife.
Yeah, well, she doesn't come back now. They have come back in those ones, because in the third one you have the Return to Perfection, and you have the Hispanic guy, then the one with her daughter, and they're the only two left. Or it's like the hippie and her daughter and Gummer are the only ones left living in the town.
Me, brother, that is cool.
No.
Replace Kevin Bacon with Michael J. Fox in Tremors.
And the worms eating him in the first scene?
No! What's wrong with Michael J. Fox?
You don't get the joke?
Yes, I get the joke.
I get the joke. I get the joke.
Oh, okay, thank you. Like going, please don't make me say it.
Hi,
Dr. Functional.
Still
functional.
Who I replace with anybody?
I'm still just saying I think it'd be hysterical to replace Kevin Bacon with Nicolas Cage in Footloose.
You know what? Replace Nicolas
That
Cage
would be fun.
in Racing the Moon with Kevin Bacon. Now, that's worth it. I would love to see that. 'Cause I'm
Back
so
to
goddamn.
Friday the 13th. I honestly don't think Kevin Bacon was attractive enough to play the character
Attracted?
that Kevin Bacon. Attractive enough to play the character that Kevin Bacon was playing in Friday the 13th.
You didn't answer,
All
so
right.
I'm invading your stream.
Oh
I mean, we
God,
saw
no! It's a
See a
functional.
question.
We saw the sup. I ain't seen anything else.
No, in Discord, I said, "Hey,
Oh.
you want another guest?" But I figure, better to do and ask forgiveness than ask for permission.
It's easier to
Something?
ask forgiveness than permission.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't.
What are you
see
playing,
that.
Rotten?
Resident
What
Evil
is this?
Village.
Oh, nice.
We were just talking about how much this game deviated far too much from the original formula.
Mhm.
Yeah, in a sense, it really did. But I mean, it's been doing that a couple iterations before The Village.
No,
This kind of reminded me of a movie I just watched today, Wicker Man, not the Nick Cage remix on
the
the topic
original?
of Nick Cage. The original, which was much better movie.
We
yes.
went over that one. That is such a
Okay.
great movie.
Mhm.
Michael Gross was Alex P. Keaton's dad, and yes, you are correct. But think about Michael Jackson or Michael J. Fox and
Michael
Tremors.
Jackson.
Think about Michael J. Fox and Tremors.
I was denied critical need to know information.
And Frighteners. Which was very spirited of in the spirit of Ghostbusters, but not
the
the same.
Frighteners. I love
Yeah.
that movie. It is such a good movie.
That's the one
It's
with the
such a
ghosts,
sleeper
right?
too. Yeah, it's like
I haven't
Ghostbusters,
seen
but
it.
Yeah.
not.
Because it's the freaking serial killer that's actually a ghost. It's like him and his sister.
Wow,
Yeah.
thanks for ruining it for everyone.
Yeah. Thanks, Rodden.
Like
Yeah,
a
for-
30-year-old movie, so I think
Next
Oh,
thing you know, he's going to be
yeah.
like, Snape killed Dumbledore. Michael Myers is actually his mother. And Buffalo Bill was actually a man.
Oh, and
technically Dumbledore committed insurance fraud, but
Insurance fraud.
he made Snape kill him so that Malfoy wouldn't have to.
Okay, Dumbledore.
So essentially, he chose to have the adult do the dirty work, so the kid could have a clean conscience.
Yeah.
He chose to not have the child go fully corrupt out of fear for his own life.
He didn't want him to lose a piece of his soul.
I feel like Tremors was after Family Ties, and he started having part of the reason that Family Ties ended up breaking up was because his Tremors were no longer in control.
Yeah. I think that's it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, did anyone-
Tremors were
I'm
after
sorry,
Family Ties and Tremors.
Answering,
I just think it's
I'm
hysterical of
answering my brother's question,
the whole thing of like,
or I'm responding to my brother's statement.
it's like Family Ties went away because of, Michael J. Fox's Tremors, and then Bert goes on to star in a series and TV series called Tremors.
Incidents? I think not.
Hotel Trivago.
What was I about to say? Kick-Ass would have made a great video game.
Yeah,
Just the first one.
yeah. I honestly think, well, even if they'd have gone the actual comic book route, it could have made a good video game for both of them. But it didn't really work too well. The second movie didn't. Like, it's entertaining, but it's not what it should be.
Yeah. It is an entertainment movie, but still, it's one of the ones I gotta turn my brain off to enjoy.
Okay, I'm not going to give the obvious comment.
Spin City was an excellent show, but if you watch the show, you notice that Michael J. Fox spends an inordinate amount of time in that movie with his hands in his pockets, also because his tremors were out of control.
And and that's why he got replaced by I believe Charlie Sheen. Was it Charlie? I think Charlie Sheen replaced him.
In
Yeah.
Spin City?
Oh, Spin
Was it Charlie
City.
Sheen?
Spin City, the one where he was
The mayor's assistant.
the mayor's press secretary.
Ghost Boy was the
No, I
mayor's
thought you
assistant.
said Sin City, and I'm like, I don't remember him being in Sin City.
No.
I've never seen it, so
You never seen Sin City?
say that no. You could say that he was, and I would be none the wiser.
All right. Sin City is it is.
I know
literally
what
a-
it is. I just haven't seen it.
Again, that means one of my reasons why I love Sin City. It is literally a bunch of short stories that barely connect, but they did.
Yeah, I mean it's very noir,
Yeah.
and it's based on a comic book, so there's that element that it still kind of. I'm struggling for a word here, but it like that's the you know how certain movies have that sort of feel when they're a comic book movie, not necessarily because of superheroes or anything like that, just because the way it's structured, the way it's
The stylization.
yeah, the way that you're watching basically comic book frames come to life.
Mhm.
It's very well framed. It's so just wow.
Yeah. Deadly little Miho. You don't feel anything unless she wants you. She took the blade. He feels it.
He actually has done interviews where he says that the reason that Family Ties ended, or the reason that he was going to leave Family Ties anyways, even if it hadn't ended, is because he had lost control of his hands by that point.
Yeah,
That's
it's
got
tragic.
Yeah. I mean, he had a great
his
career.
Parkinson's was very early onset, actually.
Hey, look, it's Heisenberg. Frank was actually
Where?
saying stream.
Heisenberg.
Where?
I just skipped the scene.
Oh,
But
you rat bastard! I never got around to playing this one, so I've only seen snippets.
Yeah.
Like the goth dommy mommy or whatever.
Yeah.
and again, it's an insult that they put her at the very beginning of the game instead of having her being like a main
Well,
villain.
I wouldn't say it's an insult they put her there. The insult was how much she got pushed because people were like, "Oh my god, giant vampire hot chick."
People are degenerates,
Yeah.
especially that tier guy.
Yeah, I heard he's an asshole.
Brother, it took them that long to diagnose it because they couldn't figure out why someone as young as him was having symptoms. Up until that point, they thought you didn't start getting it until your 60s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's one of them old people diseases.
Yeah, like stage 4 prostate cancer.
I
No,
looked at the shot off the file.
that is just men don't go in for prostate exams before they're 60, and that's why it's at stage 4 already. I'm kidding.
Okay, yeah. I've been a huge, like, I tell all of my friends who, are getting about my age, I'm like, dude, just get it done. It sucks, but it's
a
better.
finger in the butt. Yeah.
But I mean, it really is just better to know than not know, because it's actually one of the most treatable if you catch it early enough.
Yeah,
Mhm.
earlier you catch it, the better it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
I mean-
because my uncle caught it in time to live, but not in time to save his butthole, so he had to have a colostomy system put in, and that's
Yeah.
no fun.
Oh.
And he was 42 at the time. So gentlemen, 35 to 40, you better start asking your doctor to finger your butthole. I'm serious. It's not a joke. But thankfully, it's not
He's
often
not
either. It's like
joking,
once a
he's just
year. It's
wording
fine.
it in a jokey way.
Yeah.
And heck, for all you know, you might find out you like it.
Oh my god! That is a conversation for a different stream.
Or
Right.
found out that you needed a different doctor because my original doctor was this Middle Eastern guy with like big mitts, and I'm like, no, I'm finding me an Asian doctor.
That little Asian guy.
Yep, you're damn
Huh.
right.
Shit, if I'm going to go now, I'm getting a female. Like, look, lady, I gotta have this done. I'd rather you do it.
Tell me what's inside your butthole.
No.
maybe it's this. What's inside
No,
your butthole?
No. No.
Maybe it's astronauts, maybe it's aliens, all inside your butthole.
Come on now,
I
Andrew.
missed
That's
the
good
point
song.
before I met you guys when I didn't even know that existed.
I'm insulted. Not really, but I am. Kind of, sort of.
That is
Ange
like
loves
the
it.
one thing.
Oh,
What
you
the
know what,
fuck is that?
Angela? You know
What is
what's
That thing.
What's on your screen, dude?
Oh, the fat guy, the
Duke.
merchant, the Duke.
Oh, it's a merchant. Holy shit.
You thought it was Amberlyn Reed?
Or Stacey Abrams or something.
Stacey Abrams isn't that big.
You know she's the president of Earth now. Watch out.
Yeah, right.
I
The
refuse
Duke
to
isn't-
acknowledge that.
The Duke isn't as memorable as Merchant
Yeah.
from 4, and they tried to recapture that, and I
Mm.
think they did a horrible job. Like, why not just have Merchant again? That you never figure out what the fuck he is.
Yeah. Especially considering the fact that I think they did him a disservice in the remake.
They made him more talkative.
No, they didn't really change anything for him. It just didn't feel the same though. Mostly because of all the other changes they did to the game.
Yeah, like get rid of the QTEs. Thank fucking God. QTEs was a horrible idea.
I hate
And
quick
the
time
fact
events.
that the fact that they were implemented was a disservice to everything. I love the story of Indigo Prophecies. I hate the goddamn game of Indigo Prophecies. It is QTE the game.
And the person who came up with those should be flogged.
Banished. Should be banished from Earth. No, you should be banished here. You should be banished to the wasteland to to deliver law until he dies.
I am the law.
Are you kidding? That person wouldn't survive 5 minutes in the wasteland.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're sending him out there.
No, I want them to, have a long, suffering, lingering experience. Not go out quickly like a QTE.
Lizzo's butt wiper. And you have to use his tongue.
Ugh. What the hell's wrong with you?
I want suffering. Go right ahead. There it is.
Tears being a
I
degenerate
wouldn't
again.
wish that on a person with stage 4 butt cancer.
All right. Okay. Fine then. All right. I banish him to be the center in a human centipede.
Okay.
I don't even know
I'll
who we're
allow it.
talking about at the moment.
What the guy that invented QuickTime events?
Oh,
That's why I thought the Batman games were kind of overrated because it was like you're basically just it's a fighting game under the guise of QuickTime events constantly.
Yeah. The Batman games. Batman's a fucking murderer. There is no way in hell you can tell me somebody survived with a massive concussion because he smashed their head with a fucking sewer grate and they survived that without needing help. And he just leaves them there.
Oh yeah,
Or he leaves
GTA
people.
Batman.
Yeah, like he leaves people hanging upside down from like gargoyle posts and shit. Just leave them there.
Well, that's one of my favorite things to do in that game is just hang
I
them
know
up
it
and leave
is.
them there.
Yeah, but it totally violates the no kill rule.
Well, it depends on how quickly they're gotten down.
Like again, the game encourages you to just leave them there. Like it doesn't say let them down.
dude, there's a
Just
like
go.
there's a metric fuck ton of superheroes that have like a no kill philosophy that just either killed or horrifically maimed freaking goons, basically.
Yeah,
Like,
like
look at the
fucking
shit Spider-Man
Spider-Man
does.
killed a fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man killed a few people. Like I'm telling you, like again, hanging upside down from like a roof of a skyscraper and shit. I'm pretty sure they're not getting them down in time.
Probably not.
Like, yeah. Fucking most Marvel villains Marvel heroes have killed a few people. Again, they're nameless
worse. Say worse than that because depending on the Spider-Man, those webs were very short-lived.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah.
They degraded in a matter of hours.
If you were the 90s cartoon Spider-Man, yeah, like you only had like a short shelf life with his webbing.
So it's like hang them up there. If they don't get them down in time, they just fall.
Yep.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that it wasn't even get them down in time. Like it added stress to the goddamn line that caused it to snap faster.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Again, just murking people. Hey, you know what? It never paid to be a nameless mook in a goddamn comic book movie. Shit, even Superman has bashed somebody in the head a couple times too much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there was this one time where he lobotomized a guy with his heat vision because he just got pushed so far. It was awesome.
In the infamous comic book line, he goes fucking insane.
Yeah, they did that
And
in
it's
one of the
justified, though.
Justice League cartoons when they had the different universe Justice League.
The Justice Lords.
Yeah, Justice Lords.
He did it to freaking the Joker.
He did to all the villains. He lobotomized all the villains. Like they was all calm and Poison Ivy was destroying plants because she couldn't, just didn't care anymore. Yeah.
Well, let's admit it. Joker would probably be better for all of us if he had been lobotomized.
If Batman, all right, as many times as Batman had the chance to like not save the Joker and chose to save the Joker, Batman is just as culpable as Joker for the deaths of everybody that the Joker's killed.
A lot of people died because of Joker.
And you can't say, oh well, he'll just send him to Arkham. Well, again, he has he always escapes Arkham and he goes on a killing spree. He puts him back in there and he escapes Arkham again. At some point, the dog needs to be put down. Or put somewhere where he can't escape. One of the two.
I like the killing route.
Yeah, banish
Especially-
his ass to the family zone.
Especially since he's, killed people like Robin.
Yeah. Ray Shao goes another one. Like, well, you really can't put him down permanently.
Well, he's tried.
That be true.
Eh,
Say you
And,
put the demon's head down permanently. You just got to keep away from those Lazarus pits.
And Batman could instantly nullify Mr. Freeze as a villain instantly.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna get in contact with Bruce Wayne, and he's going to fund your research. Instantly nullifies him as a villain because his whole motivation is to fund his research to cure his wife. He's instantly out of the picture. Okay, I have no reason to be a villain anymore. You're funding my research. Good.
Fine.
And shit. And think about it even better. It's even better because now you have access to his technology. His freeze tech can honestly be used for some good.
Yeah, it's like I'll reach out to him. I'm sure he'll fund your research in exchange for rights to the results, kind of thing.
Yeah. It instantly stops him from being a villain. He's now on the side of good again. My research is being funded. I have no reason to steal. My wife is safe and protected. As long as I'm producing results, Bruce Wayne will keep funding it. So he has me working on some side tech, but my main focus is this.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hey, those results could be, hey, I've tried these different things and it didn't work. I'm looking in this direction next.
Or, I've cured stage 1. I've officially found a cure for stage 1. Okay, well, let's do some clinical trials to see if we can mass produce and help people suffering from stage 1 of this.
Turn that into funding the cure for stage 2, stay all the way
Yeah.
up.
Again, he instantly nullifies him as a villain. Fucking Penguins, depending on the continuity, the Penguin only does it because he's fucking bored. Like, he doesn't need to be a villain. He's just fucking bored as fuck.
Hey, when I get bored like that, I don't become a villain. Unless you
I
get all
do.
the fun.
Nah,
The bats.
the flies.
Oh, they're flies.
Yeah.
They're something. They're
insects. I
They're
can't
some sort of
remember what.
insects. Not plagos. I want to say plagos insect, but they're not.
That was always one of the weird things as well, is like they're going from the having zombies to then the different viruses. Then in 4 you get Las Plagas, and in 5 they get like a mixture of Las Plagas and apparently how the virus came from a flower.
That's another thing that always pisses. With each new game, get a new origin for the virus and Umbrella itself. And then you got Albert. But
Never mind.
hey, Jen. No, what'd you say?
It doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
It doesn't matter.
Why are you trying to bully her, Tier?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bully you.
Such a bully.
I am. So according to the Resident Evil continuity, everything spawned from the T virus, the G virus, the Alexa virus, parasites, and mold. That is the origin of everything.
Yeah, because then for this one they have the freaking whole thing of how, what's his
The
name?
mycelium.
No, I'm trying to think of the doctor's name that Wesker technically kills before the 5th game.
The old man. I know what you're talking about.
Spencer.
Yeah.
And it's just like, he was here for this and had the research with her, then or with Miranda, then it actually goes, so it's like, oh no, I have a thing over in Africa instead.
Yeah. I like the setup for six. Six had an interesting premise where you had 3 conjoined stories again
4
with
technically.
4. Yes, because you gotta count Ada's story. But you had those 3 plus 1 stories. They all interconnected and like they intersected at some point. So you got to see people from different positions. You know, oh well, this is when we met Leon as Chris. Oh, I almost tried to kill him when I should already know who the fuck he is.
Well, when
You
they
know?
saw who it was, they freaking had the whole thing of recognizing.
And then his whole
Sorry, I just forgot. Like my other kid.
yeah. Oh God, stop bringing that up. Jesus fucking Christ.
Can't believe I forgot my
Traumatized by that
son.
one.
I forgot about my son.
For people that don't know the lore or the origin of that, there's a fan film called Lakeshore Slasher.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either.
Film.
It starts off with the premise, like you think it's a standard Chucky film, you know, fan film, you know, because it starts off where the little girl's getting a doll and somehow her sister is missing, but it never gives you the feel that she has a twin sister. You don't see bunk beds or anything. It's just something the mother says.
Yeah.
And then you know, it goes from 1 to 180 because instantly, without rhyme or reason, the little girl saying, "Oh, the doll did it," and whatnot, and the mother throws out the doll. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because like over a dream sequence, the doll somehow does something.
Well, they keep trying to set up as if the doll's the actual killer, and they even like have the one son look at the freaking or friend or whatever look at the damn fucking doll to be like, oh, you know, there's been killings and blah blah blah. That's like they're supposedly in the Chucky universe to then have a complete fucking switch and being like, yeah, we're doing this shit for Chucky or something. It's like, wait, what the fuck are you going on about?
No, they're trying to blame the murders on the Chucky doll and the shit using the math. It gets even fucking worse because you're following up until like the last third of the movie. You're following the mother and like all the shit she's going through, and out of nowhere she gets 86, gone, murdered it.
Much like they forgot they had a kid, I want to forget that movie. Forget that movie. Can we talk about Saw AA?
Okay, let's talk about Saw AA. Saw AA was even
How about
worse.
no? Oh man, that movie still haunts me.
Saw AA.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad.
Would you like to play an interview game?
Yes, and they turned Jigsaw. And it was that movie and the one that we watched. I think it's called He Helped Me. It's the name of the movie we saw. And it was another one we watched recently where it's made. I guess it's made by the same group. They turned Jigsaw
I know which
into.
one you're talking about.
They made a second one.
Yeah. Because
The
they
first one
had.
wasn't bad enough.
Yeah. They
second
did.
one was slightly better because
At least
things actually happened.
Yes.
Some people did some things.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yes.
It wasn't a therapy session.
What was it called?
I can't remember, and I
I'm
don't
looking at it.
really want to.
Endure. The first one was Saw He Helped Me, and the second one was Endure, a Saw fan film.
Hmm.
And Saw AA, they turned Jigsaw from this, you know, his whole motivation was to help people live, essentially, like by his twisted morality. You know, you randomly had a bad childhood. Well, I'm gonna help you get over it. Here's a gas trap that you can easily get out of if you hold your breath for 20 minutes. He helped me. Or oh well, this guy was a petty. I was a petty thief, stealing from pickpocketing and shit, and he tagged me. Now I turned over a new leaf because he crippled my legs. I don't know how to fucking deal with him stealing, but okay.
I was a drug
Well,
dealer.
you can't
Or it's like I was a major druggie, and he got me clean.
Yes, that was it. Like I was an addict, and he helped me get clean. Like,
Well, that's the
What?
kind of thing Saw would try. Is like you're
Yeah,
destroying your
but
life with this.
he put you through some serious shit, and the stuff
Yeah.
that he was doing to them was not Saw level stuff.
or like the first one was like the doctor where he was cheating on his wife. I think the prince like he was a good surgeon. It was like he was on the surgeon. He didn't do anything wrong as a surgeon, but he was cheating on his wife. So he got put through a game. And he like lost 2 fingers. And you can clearly see the fingers on his hand because of the way they did the bandaging.
Mm-hmm.
The bandaging was so fucking terrible.
I'm sorry, putting you say just that doesn't. I mean, yeah, that doesn't sound like a Saw thing. You're cheating on your wife, so we're gonna do something that puts your hands at risk.
Yeah.
Well,
That's-
the first one was because the doctor was basically saying that he was a lost cause.
No, he's talking about Saw AA.
Saw
Oh.
AA.
Saw.
Yeah, I've only seen the first movie, and I think bits and pieces of one or the other, to where he has that female apprentice who makes the games unwinnable.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the.
Well, actually, it's the cop that does that.
And then Kari Elway joins because he was the doctor in the first one that somehow survived the game. After it clearly showed him being crippled and dying as he leaves out the room. So that's what happened to him. But somehow he's now one of Jigsaw's secret apprentices.
Yeah, but he's actually the one that ends up catching Amanda and the other guy and punishing them
Yeah. Oh,
for
and
twisting
then
Is the-
twisting Jigsaw's game.
Yeah, the game has to be winnable.
and Endure
Let's-
go ahead.
supposed to require sacrifice, but it has to be winnable.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
And losing is death.
yeah. All right. So for Endure, one of the things that really rubbed me the wrong way was the cop investigating one of the games that someone had survived. He goes to the warehouse. He's examining everything. He's not put through a game, mind you. He's just examining the thing to find the guy who was put through a game. Finds the guy. Jigsaw mails him, because he's a good cop. It's just that he kind of takes things too far sometimes. Only got a few complaints on him, but he's a good cop. And Jigsaw mails him a tape hey, you want to do some real good? Gives him a mask and everything. Join me. Join my cause. The fuck? Now you're outsourcing?
Basically.
But what was a good one that we watched? Oh, Dream Girl. That was a good one. The
Is
one
that
where
Pregnant
yep.
Freddy? Yeah.
Yes. Dream Girl was pretty good.
That one actually really pissed me off. But it wasn't bad, but it was wrong in every aspect of what Nightmare on Elm Street is. It was wrong.
Well, yeah. Because he was acting in the real world against other people instead of just the girl that was sleeping. And then they tried to say she did it with a scalpel. She caused those types of laceration with a fucking scalpel.
Yeah.
And mind you, you also have the fact that when they entered the room, she was tied down.
Yeah, but the bitch still managed to take out five people.
Yeah.
Across
Tied
Okay.
down.
the room?
Yeah. Let's go with that, right?
Yes, that's oh man, it was good technically. Like some of the kills were fucking amazing.
I like that freaking or the Star Wars one. Was it the TIE Fighter one?
Wingman.
Yeah, Wingman.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I found that
right?
one, and it blew my fucking tits off.
That one was fucking solid as all hell,
Yeah.
man. Even the dubbing wasn't terrible.
Again, they're all foreign born. I think they're all Germans.
All
And
native
they-
German speakers, yeah, like crazy. But they delivered the it's funny too because half of them didn't speak any English, so they're literally just replicating the sounds as they were being told to, and they still delivered them fairly well.
Yeah.
You can tell some of them had a harder time than others, but oh my god, the visual effects, the costumes.
But the mechanical nature of it and essentially made it seem more plausible, like how they were matter of fact. You know, it wasn't like, oh, well, you know, shut the landing bay doors, you know, with any inflection. Okay, these are by the business soldiers. So they would have that, no emotion. It's just a job.
Yeah, I still got to watch the last 3 episodes of Andor because this season was really it's really good TV, but it's not like Star Wars. That makes sense.
But they tried
That does
to
make sense.
they tried to soap opera Star Wars.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I was telling Harry on the Saturday show, like it's kind of like Les Miserables, where the guy accidentally kills somebody, just trying to live his life, trying to find his sister, gets embroiled, gets constantly chased by this cop. And there's a bigger story of the revolution going on, and it's just it's very, very reminiscent of it, even to the point where the planet that they're focusing on has this very French-sounding looking culture, but it's not French. I guess they just made it sound like that for purpose, right?
Mm-hmm. I see if Acolyte wasn't trying to make if Acolyte wasn't trying to make Anakin's birth not seem special, had the sisters been a dyad like they fucking created in the goddamn Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker and explored that relationship.
Then completely not understanding kyber crystals.
Yeah.
So the new thing. All right, originally, like the reason why Sith had red lightsabers because all their kyber crystals were synthetic. They weren't actual kyber crystals. Made sense. However, this newer thing where you got to bleed your lightsaber or make your kyber crystal bleed to turn it red, which makes no fucking sense.
I was
What?
Because
it's
yeah. So in one of the comics, they tried to explain why Vader had a red lightsaber. Like it was his original green one, and he just bled the crystal.
that makes no sense.
Whatever.
And you
Like,
know
he
it wasn't his original because of
His
what
son has his
Obi-Wan
original.
said. Yeah, what Obi-Wan said in A New Hope. Luke had the original, and
Yeah.
It is your father's lightsaber.
Yeah, especially after, the clone
He
movie,
takes
even
it.
show him walking away with it.
Yeah. It again, they not
And
understand
the-
the thing.
Vader's design on the lightsaber was significantly different in that than
But you know what? They could have had now that the Empire controlled the galaxy and like damn near every kyber crystal mined, Vader could have had a actual fucking red lightsaber, like with an actual red kyber crystal, because they were red. Like it ran the spectrum, and the only reason why Sith primarily used red ones is because again they had to make synthetic ones. So again, he could have had a red one. He had an actual red kyber crystal, or he could have had a blue one or a green one. But like I said, like if they explored the dyad position of May and Osha and not do some half-ass who done it, and you explain who the fuck it was that done it in like the first 20 minutes of your who done it.
Oh, you mean where she burnt down this rocks and metal structure by tossing a lamp?
A flimsy oil lamp, yeah.
Yeah, that's how you burn stone. That's how you start fires. That's how
But
things work.
But
How
you know
does
what gets
that
even
math?
better? Hold on, you know what gets even better? Is that you live in a society that can generate power and lights and shit. Why are you using oil lamps?
Oh, bullshit. Sorry.
Who the fuck
Damn,
knows?
I actually fucking died.
Oh, wow.
Have you tried not being bad?
I normally try that way, and apparently this time I just sucked.
Serenity got me into playing this Manor Lords game, and I'm just like, I want to kill everybody.
I have
your
Man of Lords, I haven't
chickens.
played it.
Make your chickens produce eggs. God damn it! It's all right. I just started, so it's kind of like I'm figuring things out, but stuff's really kind of sparse.
What game have I been playing? I've been bouncing between like 2 or 3 games. I'm trying to get back into Shadow of Doubt. Being a noir detective and you're essentially investigating various murders and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted because I want to scratch that gumshoe itch I have currently. I might stream it though. I suck at that game. Like I go over clues like, how the fuck did this not fit?
I have fallen down the Freddy Rodriguez rabbit hole.
The what?
The Freddy Rodriguez rabbit hole. I absolutely love this actor. His name's Freddy Rodriguez. He's fantastic.
Okay.
You guys are not gonna like where I found him. I started watching him with Ugly Betty. But,
Never heard of it.
But he's been in several movies that I really, really enjoy. Including, I didn't realize he was the guy that played Pete in A Walk in the Clouds.
Never heard of it.
Same.
And I found Bottle Shock, which is one of my favorite indie films, on Peacock.
Never heard of it.
So after I watched that, I realized that Peacock also has CBS. And CBS has a show called Bull, which was the show that the actor that played DiNozzo on CSI did.
Yeah.
Not CSI.
NCIS.
That one. He ended up doing a show called Bull after that. And Freddy Rodriguez plays the attorney that helps him with the jury selection stuff that he does.
Another one I've never heard of.
I've only seen bits and
that's
pieces
fun.
of that one.
I actually really liked the show, but my mom didn't really care for it, and my brother's not really a police procedural guy. So I didn't really get to watch it a lot. So I'm watching it now.
Yes, I've seen like the
shit.
first 18 seasons, I think, of NCIS.
I also am the rare person that enjoyed Lady in the Water by M. Night Shyamalan. and he played a really interesting character in that. I'm not a huge M. Night Shyamalan fan. My brother is very accurate when he says that the twists are not the surprise twist endings, not very surprisey or twisty.
What a twist.
M. Night Shyamalan ruined Avatar.
I
with
like
his remake, his version.
I don't care about Avatar. Avatar was going to be shit when Hollywood touched it anyway.
Fair.
Yeah, but giving it to M. Night just made it worse.
Well, let her fucking finish where she was going, dude.
But
Right.
I really like the character studies in the movie Lady in the Water. I think the two M. Night Shyamalan movies that I actually really liked were Signs and Lady in the Water. The Village was okay.
Yeah, I'll agree with the Village being okay.
The Village was okay, and then you learned the twist, and I'm like, the fuck.
I don't think I've seen Lady in the Water.
I haven't seen Lady in the Water. The
The
twist.
Village?
Yeah.
Was that the one where she ran away and figured out that this, it was just some weird...
Hippie commune.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Well, she
It's
didn't run
partly,
away.
yeah,
Yeah, not exactly, but it wasn't what you saw. There was the real world outside.
Mhm.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
was
Okay,
sent
okay,
to
I
get
remember that one
medicine.
then, kind of.
So she
Like
was
I said,
trying to
it wasn't great, but it wasn't awful.
Like all the adults were. The premise was like all the adults were like rich people that wanted to play act.
No, they were.
No,
time.
No,
they
that-
were
no,
people who were hurt by society and went into hiding in by reverting to
Yeah.
less.
A more Mennonite sort of, not
Yeah,
Mennonite, Luddite,
I met at night.
a more Luddite society where, they reject technology, which makes sense. It's fine.
Man-appers.
But
Actually feeling that myself, because people suck, society sucks, the internet sucks.
There's still a lot of good
But
stuff.
no,
that
really,
goes with it.
Functional, tell us how you really feel.
Well, will be very sorry if you're not on the internet, so I can't hang out with you and hear how badly
Aw.
Yeah. I mean, you're our resident Kanakasani.
That's true. I can't not have the internet. So there's no actual worry about that.
But like I said, I'm not a huge M. Night Shyamalan fan. There are 3 movies of his where if Lady in the Water's on, I'm definitely watching it. If The Village is on and there's nothing else on, it's a fun time. And I actually really liked Sign. But the point is,
Yeah, but
Freddie Rodriguez.
Sixth Sense was. I fucking hate that movie.
All
I
right.
can never
Freddie
finish it.
Rodriguez was in Lady in the Water.
M.
I
Night
tried The
has a
Sixth
problem.
Sense once. I was not able to finish it.
All right. Hold on. M. Night had the same problem Jordan Peele's first 2 movies had. He dips his toe in certain concepts and then pulls back too early. Some
I
of
can
his
see
twists piss me off.
Well, like I was going to say about the Sixth Sense, I was watching it with a buddy of mine. It was in the theater. He was ranting and raving about this new director, and I lean over, I whisper, I'm like, "Is Bruce Willis dead?" And he looks at me, goes, "What?" And whatever. We get out of the movie theater, and I'm looking at him. He finally looks back at me, and I just give him one of the looks, like, "Hmm."
Told you.
And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, now that I look back on it, I'm like, yeah, but dude, I didn't look back on it. You were right there. I literally said it right there in the first 5 minutes of the fucking movie." And he's like, yeah, I mean, how? I'm like, it's so obvious.
It is very, very clear.
Yeah.
Like you didn't need
Well, that
hindsight to
was,
be like, I
Okay.
see dead people.
that was the movie If. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Sounds
It's
familiar.
a movie that John Krasinski, not John Krasinski, the other one.
What,
Maybe
the
it was
imaginary
John
friends?
Krasinski, The Imaginary Friends. I turned around and just from the previews,
Mhm.
I knew that, okay, if you haven't seen it, you plan on seeing it, plug your ears. I knew going into it that Ryan Reynolds was actually her imaginary friend. I knew from the commercials. When I went into the movie, I wasn't even going in. It didn't dawn on me that everybody going in to watch this didn't know that he was her imaginary friend. And then I was talking about it with a friend of mine, and he was like, "Oh yeah, by halfway through the movie, I knew that he was her imaginary friend." I'm like,
What's up, Badger?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that I wasn't supposed. I didn't realize that I wasn't supposed to know that going into the theater.
Mhm.
Because to me, it was just so
Obvious.
blatantly projected right there in the commercials. It's the only reason that an adult would be sitting there trying to interview an imaginary friend for somebody.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen it, so.
I haven't seen it.
It's a great movie. I loved it. I just went in looking
Somebody
at
about to lose a
different-
hand. Not yet.
It's a great movie. I loved it, but I went in to a different movie than everybody else went into, apparently.
This always boggles my mind.
Because I didn't realize we weren't supposed to know. I was just like, this is going to be sweet. Her imaginary friend is going to teach her how to be a kid again. And literally nobody else in the theater knew that he was her imaginary friend until the end of the movie. Everybody was acting super shocked, and I was just like, I'm perplexed. How am I the only person that knew this?
How
Yeah.
did I get
Angela
this and
said
you
they're like,
didn't?
why are you so stupid?
You are so stupid.
I'm
You
so
are dumb.
stupid.
You are really dumb.
Like for
That
real.
is so dumb.
Well, no, it was a very clever movie. It just, like I said, I went in expecting a movie about a kid relearning childhood because she goes through a shit ton of stuff at the beginning of the movie and starts acting like a little adult.
Go ahead.
I went in expecting a little girl learning how to be a kid again from her imaginary friend.
Clown says I figured out way earlier too. M Night posted if you had to way overthink this and you're going to be amazed. Otherwise, damn.
Pretty sure for a lot of M. Night Shyamalan stuff, he's just like, I am so smart.
It was not M. Night Shyamalan. It was just a movie where I turned around and had that same, or had this weird,
You predicted the movie without actually seeing the movie.
yeah, exactly.
Using context clues and information, you saw the twist coming before it even happened.
I didn't even know there was supposed to be a twist.
What a twist.
Not every movie needs a twist.
Well, that's like all the movies they want to have nowadays. They're like, we have to subvert the audience's expectations. And it's like, yes, but they're expecting that.
So
Wanna
now
subvert
you,
my expectations, make a good movie.
Yeah, right.
maybe
That
not
said,
killing
I
your
do
villain.
recommend if you guys want to watch it. I'm sorry I spoiled the ending for you. But it is actually a very good movie.
I'm tired of these directors who huff their own farts.
Mm-hmm,
So all of them.
Yep.
Well, Schneider, Abrams, Bay, who literally huff their own farts and believe they can turn a turnip into a mountain of gold. By changing it and giving their story.
Well, it's like when we had a discussion with Mitch being on here with Functional as well. Whenever they like turn books or comic books into movies, the amount of people that, like directors and writers for the movie that want to go ahead and put their little spin on it and everything, when majority of the audience wants to see said book or comic in the movie without extra bullshit into it.
Yeah.
Rings of Power.
That being said, we don't need Batman's origin story number 537.
yes,
You can do quite effectively, as we've seen, a day in the life of Iron Man, a day in the life of Batman, a day in the life of who the fuck ever. You don't need origin stories. These are characters and stories that are so deeply ingrained in American Western culture. We don't need
their stories.
We don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to see Superman come to Earth from Krypton.
Yeah.
It's not essential.
I mean, hell, the first Superman movie, I don't even think that had his origin story, and it was just him as already Superman.
Yeah.
Badger, what's a BFR?
Well, at the Volvera Museum,
really-
it's from. Well, no, it's typically most people would consider it like it's a play off the BFG from Doom. The big fucking gun.
Oh,
But Magnum
yeah.
Research
Big
calls it
fucking
their,
rifle.
well, no, Magnum Research calls it their biggest, finest revolver.
You can do an opening credit flashback where it's the credits. Young Wayne loses family and tragic killing. With the newsreels or newspaper cutouts.
Well, that's like
Newspaper
freaking.
headline.
Yeah.
For as much of how many people don't like Batman v Superman and whatnot, they did the
Hello,
origin story for Batman proper in that whole thing. You're gonna put the origin story in there. Had in the opening credits before the opening credits were even finished. He's established.
Yep. They
I
did that
didn't
with
like-
one of the Spider-Man too.
I didn't like the origins. I didn't like Batman v Superman because it really wasn't Batman v fucking Superman. It wasn't the comic that it's supposed to be that Batman's retired and he's coming back, to fight crime.
Yeah.
And
Well, the problem was Batman v Superman was like 6 different comic book movies all pushed together.
shoehorned together. Yeah, it's sort of like how fucking Civil War wasn't the fucking Civil War. Like the Civil War was about mutant superhero registration, and you had people like fucking Tony Stark on one side of the aisle, and you had fucking Captain America on the other side, the anti-registration.
Mhm.
And it was a fight of ideologies. Oh well, we shouldn't have to reveal who we are. Well, we're fucking vigilantes. The whole point of us doing what we do is not for fame or glory; it is for the common good.
And when governments get involved, it gets even worse.
Yeah, it gets messy. And the Civil War had a lot of fucking other groups involved that the movie can never bring in. Like, I don't see the X-Men technically were involved. Tony goes to Emma, say, "Hey, could you help us round up superheroes?" Emma was like, "Fucking no." When our kids were being rounded up by the, and she points to the Sentinel looking over the school, when they were rounding up our kids to do shit, where the fuck
Did
were
you
you?
do? Yeah.
Nothing.
You didn't,
Yeah,
they didn't help
no.
at all. So that's where the Magneto was right thing came from, because he kind of was.
Yeah. they had the Sentinels overlooking this, like they let them be mutant, but they were fucking pretty much oh, y'all can go help on shit. Yeah, y'all can help.
But
But
under
y'all come.
constant surveillance by basically nuclear weapons.
Yep. And she told his ass off.
Exactly, Clown. Having a Marvel Civil War without X-Men hard pass.
Yes.
I'm massive X-Men fan.
Shit, having them all right. So there were a lot more groups involved in the Civil War other than just Marvel. You had the Young Avengers, you had the East Coast Avengers, and you had the Runaways. I fucking love the Runaways. Like,
Well,
the
and they
didn't
made
have
Thunderbolts.
access to any of that.
nope.
They made Thunderbolts into East Coast Avengers or West Coast Avengers.
Yes,
Or sorry, they made West Coast Avengers into Thunderbolts. I'm like, why didn't you just make it West Coast Avengers? Are you
like
stupid?
you had great characters, like you had Cloak and fucking Dagger, who were a tag team, who was an interracial couple that y'all could. There you go. You could play up the interracial couple. You had Cloak and Dagger. You had who else is on the West Coast Avengers?
What's his name? U.S. Agent.
Yep. U.S. Liberty. Or
U.S. Liberty.
Sorry, thinking of another game, another comic book series. Yes, U.S. Agent. Not Captain America. Captain America.
But it was like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, Hawkeye, U.S. Agent, Tigra.
Well,
Fuck.
they had already killed off
Is it Troll.
Quicksilver, so
Yeah. Wiccan, Wasp, Cloak and Dagger. I think that I'm missing a couple people.
I can't remember.
Because Hawkeye goes West Coast and he's the basic leader of the initial start, and then let's see, I just brought it up on Google. Initial West Coast Avengers roster included Iron Man, Hawkeye, Vision, Mockingbird, Wonder Man, Tiger, and others. Team for experience, blah, blah, blah. And then it gets taken over eventually by U.S. Agent, and then like later, I think even Venom Venom took over Thunderbolts. See, the whole problem was Thunderbolts is supposed to be bad guys. It's supposed to be their version of Suicide Squad, not just failed heroes. And U.S. Agent kills a terrorist, and everybody's like, "Oh no, U.S. Agent's such a bad man." But like, fuck no, dude. He should have been getting the Homelander treatment. People should have been cheering him.
And it gets even worse. Taskmaster. Fucking hate when they deal with Taskmaster. Like that.
Turn it into a woman.
Yes.
Some emo woman who just like just stop.
The Black Widow ripoff.
Well,
Her
Thunderbolt
sister
fixed that.
Fixed what?
The issue with Taskmaster.
No, they really didn't. They just turned her into.
They killed her.
Oh right, it was Phantom. I'm thinking about Phantom. Yeah. They did fix it by killing her, even though she's not even the real Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Which it would have been cool to have somebody like Taskmaster who can emulate all these combat styles and be like, yeah, excuse me, have Taskmaster be able to single-handedly maybe not beat, but go toe-to-toe with the entire team.
Yeah.
And then build up to Sentry. Don't just give us fucking here's Sentry, guys. What, really? You're gonna give us like a Giga Omega level power for what? And now we're gonna get is it Mephisto? No, not Mephisto. In
Ironheart. It's playing up that it's Mephisto.
Yeah, I mean, just fuck off. Make it stop.
And Ironheart does not. I cannot explain my disdain for Riri Williams any more than I already have.
I don't even know who the fuck she is, and I hate her.
So her introduction to the to the very first page of her comics is her being an insufferable little bitch. All right, so the teacher's going around asking her, like, no, the teacher didn't go around asking. She stands up and shows the picture of like this famous black female astronaut and says she wants to be a scientist just like her. And the teacher goes, sure, good. That's great. You know, you can do that. And then she goes, oh, no. I wanted you to say I can't do it, so I have something to prove you, motivation to prove you wrong and by becoming a scientist. And she goes, well, how would I tell you that? Like, if you want to be a scientist, you can be a scientist. Well, I'm going to prove you wrong. What the
The fuck is wrong with you?
You're gonna prove her wrong by not becoming a scientist?
No, she's gonna prove her
Right?
wrong by becoming a scientist. Like, that's the whole thing she wanted. Mind you, the teacher is white.
And then they have the whole thing because of
Oh.
Ironheart coming out as well. People being like, they don't like this character because she's black and a woman. It's like, people can just not like the character. You understand that, right?
No, they don't, because the only way that they see the world is through,
Black and
this
white.
person's a black person. I have to treat them differently. This person's Asian. I have to treat them differently. This person's Indian. I have to treat them differently. This person's black. I have to treat them differently because they're, in fact, like the ultimate racist.
Again,
We've lost
But
we've lost the plot that racism isn't just saying the N-word or calling somebody a kike or something. It's actually believing and adhering to an ethos of this race is different and thus they are less than because they are different. It's
and
the
they need my
notion
protection.
that well that's an addition, but that a certain group, racial ethnicity group, is less than that, there is racism. No, because all groups, no matter what they are, racial or demographically or jingoistically, they all have their geniuses, they all have their assholes.
Mhm.
You know, but they
I
don't
can't
see the world
stand-
like that.
I cannot stand Miles Morales. Not because he's a black kid, not because he's an inner city youth. Because
Isn't
they
he
try to
African?
he's African Cuban, African Puerto Rican, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I said.
Yes,
Spafrican.
yeah.
Spanish
So-
African, the Spanish black.
So they-
Spafrican.
They shoehorned him into a lot of shit. They shoehorned him into fucking the Spider-Man game where he has all the powers. He has all of Peter Parker's original powers as Spider-Man. Plus, he can go invisible. He has taser touch. And he has electromagnetic vision.
Lovely.
Not only that, they also shoehorned him into a shit ton of what ifs. My worst one is what if he was an Asgardian and they turned Asgard into the fucking hood and he
Yeah.
goes by Odin's Fade.
What?
And they he has on like Jordan's like gold suit and he has tags on his fucking on Nomir.
Oh my god.
If all right, now the premise is if he was Thor. If he was Thor, he'd have grown up in that culture.
Yep.
And he wouldn't have any of those references because he's not that character. He's Asgardian. He would have the Norse heritage of being that character. You know? He wouldn't say by Odin's face, he was by Odin's beard, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they shoehorn everywhere. It's like they trying to shoehorn Miss Marvel. Not Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. Carl Danvers and Kamala Khan. And they erased her
Actually-
original power set. Yes.
I actually kind of dug the Miss Marvel series.
I mean, granted,
Oh, no.
the actress that
The
played her was
comic
a little cutie.
The comic book sucked. I'm not gonna lie there. I was actually really impressed. I am impressed with the way the MCU is actually handling these characters that were introduced to the comic books so poorly.
Well, you can't.
Because America Chavez was actually introduced really well too. She was a likable character
I still can't stand her.
in the movie.
Even in the movie, she was insufferable.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was. All right, she was the key to everything. Like, in the Multiverse of Madness, it all became about her. You know, and again, Multiverse of Madness was even worse because Scarlet Witch's motivations made no fucking sense.
I didn't say anything about that. What I said was that she was actually not as shitty a character as she was in the comic books, and she wasn't.
Fair enough. Yeah, she was. All right.
That
Okay,
is
I'll give you
that
that.
is what I said.
She was
In
at least
the
semi-likable.
series, Kamala Khan was actually a really decent character, not like she was in the comic book.
Green Panther asks about something here, about Ironheart stealing the Iron Man suit.
I was actually really pleased with yeah, I have to admit that what I saw of the female Ironheart or Iron Man character,
Ironheart.
she still kind of sucked. I didn't really like her. She was in the one with
Wakanda Forever.
Namor.
Yeah.
And
Namor.
she wasn't a great character.
And yes, she stole Tony Stark's tech. In the comic, she steals his tech, and becomes a superhero and says, "Oh, I've made it better."
I know what the comic book said. I do
Well,
have
no,
to
I was
admit
answering
that her actually
Dad's question.
her actually basically making it herself, like just taking his concepts and making her own. That part of the movie was good, but the character herself is still just
bad.
a woke divist.
Again, she was shoehorning characters in places they don't need to be. There was no, you could cut her out of Wakanda Forever, and it would still be a good. Well, I wouldn't say a good movie. It'd still be a movie.
That it was okay. Nah, I was like
It's just
sitting
like
there trying to figure out which movie it was. I know it's the one that Namor was in.
You can cut out fucking American Chavez out of Multiverse of Madness, and it'd still be a movie.
I don't know. I haven't really watched any Marvel movie in a long time.
Madness, but
Like,
I also really, really like Doctor Strange.
Yeah, but it would have been great if it was a Doctor Strange movie and not a fucking America Chavez
movie. Yes.
Well, it really was just a Scarlet Witch movie, is what it was.
And they overpowered her. They made her so fucking OP.
And if they had released it as a Scarlet Witch movie, it would have made a lot more sense.
If they gave her actual motivation. Oh, I'm going across the multiverse and killing my other versions of myself to steal her kids. So essentially, you're gonna raise the kids of a woman you killed and destroy their reality because your presence there is breaking down their reality. Great reasoning. You're mom of the fucking year.
Yeah, I'd rather have the one with Jet Li, the one to where he was going across the multiverses, killing the other Jet Li, so that way he could be more powerful.
Like godlike.
It's one of my favorite movies. Got Delroy Lindo and Jason Statham.
Yep.
And one of the best lines ever.
No one's bitch.
Yeah. I am Eula. I'm no one's bitch.
And he just takes
you
are mine.
And he takes out and then he's just fucking fighting everyone on that goddamn planet.
Yes, and then the movie ends with him basically going to be fighting for the rest of eternity. It's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Jet Li is such a treasure. Well, he used to be until he became a complete cuck for China.
Yeah.
Or maybe he always was.
He
I
probably
just didn't
always
notice.
was. It all depends on what movie he was in, because I liked that one. I really liked him in Kiss of the Dragon.
I liked him in Hero.
Kiss the Dragon, or as I like to call it, Jet Li's Frog Stomp.
I liked him in Hero. He was really good in Hero.
Hero is like one of my favorites.
I'm trying to remember the one he was in where DMX was one of the side characters.
Oh,
Oh,
you're talking about Romeo Must Die.
Romeo Must
He was,
Die. That one was a
yeah.
good one too.
No, that
Really,
wasn't DMX.
No,
was-
DMX is one of the
DMX
side characters. He's a club owner.
yes.
Oh, right.
He has the whole-
right.
Yeah, he has the whole thing in the beginning of the movie
It
where it's
was-
like he shoots the guns.
It was a
It's just
little
like,
forced.
yeah, he's like, if your ass ain't black, you best be getting out of my club.
Yeah.
Guns don't kill people. People kill people. Yeah. And Aaliyah Day was the female
yeah.
lead, and Delroy Lindo was in that one.
All I know, I know I can identify a picture of Jet Li if you show me a picture of Jet Li. Is that good?
Yes.
Yes, that's fair enough.
I can't tell you any movies to I know he was in Romeo Must Die, but I've never seen it.
He's also
he got
in,
his.
good.
He got a lot of his big attention because of Once Upon a Time in China series, and then he started doing some like stereotypical kung fu stuff. New Legend of Shaolin, Defender, High Risk,
shit.
and then Black Mask. Black Mask was a movie where East meets West sort of thing. So Chinese cinema, Hollywood came together, made Black Mask, and then that's what led him into getting into movies like Lethal Weapon 4, which he was the bad guy in.
Yep.
And then
Okay, I
Romeo
saw
Must
that.
Die, Kiss the Dragon, the one, all of his American movies.
Okay, cool.
Then I liked him in Expendables as well.
Yeah, and
His
then
parts.
yeah.
And then he goes cuts for China. Him and
My
Jackie
brother
Chan.
says Cradle to the Grave was a better movie with DMX and Jet.
That's what I was thinking
Mm.
of. Cradle to the Grave. Because
The one with all the
DMX
Rough Riders.
plays a big part in that movie.
He's one of the main characters, and like,
Yeah,
I
all the
thought
Rough
him and Jet.
Riders are there. Dragon's in that one, and so
Oh
is,
yeah, because
Eve, if I'm not mistaken.
the other movie I'm thinking of with DMX is Exit Wounds with him and
Exit.
Jean
Jean-Claude?
No, not Jean Claude. Seagal.
Seagal. That was it.
Yeah, okay, I remember that movie.
Only reason why I know this movie exists is because Black culture and whatnot. He was really good in Belly. Him and Nas.
Belly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Belly's like the quintessential black gangster movie.
Yeah.
I
Where
love
he had.
that you have to quantify.
It is. It
Well,
know
yeah,
it
because there's a
because
difference
it's
between
black
black gangster and like Italian gangster.
yeah.
and,
Like
I am
that was
aware.
two different movies.
Okay.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Tears saying the only reason I know it is because of
because of black culture. Yeah.
I mean, it was when in my childhood. That was a rather like if you've never seen that movie, grew up in the hood, you weren't breathing essentially. Like it's been shown a lot of places and a lot of people have. Like my cousin to this day has a copy of that movie, and it had DMX, Nostradamus, Ice-T, T-Boz. I want to say Andre 3000. It had a lot of well-known hip hop and rappers in that movie.
Yeah.
It was literally black culture. The movie.
Cool.
Yeah, I never saw it.
Like and every rapper that
It
was
did
in that
have
movie
meth.
did that song.
Yeah, it had Method Man.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love Method Man. I was thinking in my head, I'm like, I know he was in that, but I don't want to say, I don't want to be like, look the fool and be
I
like,
don't want
was
to
he
say it
funny?
and be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to act a fool. That's how neighbors get shot.
Yeah. Fucking around to find it out, I guess.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah, every East Coast rapper was in that movie. Or at least the influential ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't think Jay-Z was in that, and I don't think a few others. That's another
No,
person that
there's a
never had
lot
an
of the
acting
East
career.
Coast guys. They weren't really big. The West Coast guys weren't really big into the Hollywood thing. They were too busy being fucking degenerates.
That's another thing that I realized. Jay-Z never had never did a acting career.
No, because he went into the business side of things, right?
Mhm.
He even stopped basically becoming a performer himself, even though he could still sell out an arena today,
I
Yeah.
doubt it.
just so he could get into. You think so? I think he could.
Beyonce, with her overpriced tickets and his overpriced tickets, I don't think they could sell out shit.
Well, he could
I
sell
think
out.
there'd be enough.
I don't think he would be doing the Beyonce style thing of charging that much. Because I'm pretty sure he's more the whole thing of like, I've made my money, so something like this would be for, the fans more.
Eh.
Because while he is like any rapper and whatnot, or any person that still kind of greedy, I don't think he has the same greed like Beyonce does. Or not just
Yeah.
greed, but pride of thinking that they're obviously worth that much and that their fans should just fucking suffer and pay for it anyways.
Since we're on the topic, have any of you seen Get Him to the Greek?
Yes.
I
I
No, I don't
didn't
think I
even know
have.
we were on the topic.
Well,
Well-
the topic of hip hoppers and movies, and
Yeah, because P. Diddy was in Get Him to the Greek.
Diddy was in it. Yeah, Smiles O'Brien was in it. Fucking
Oh,
Russell
Lord.
Brand. What's Jonah Hill?
Yep.
It's really fucking funny. I thought
Yeah.
I was gonna fucking absolutely hate it, but it
Same.
was hilarious.
I had
Okay.
such fun
Thicken
watching
that stream, Rotten. Thicken that fucking stream. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No worries. Yeah, I was surprised with that as well, of just how much I liked it.
It's so good. And what's that white chick's name from Mad Men? The blonde chick?
Oh, I don't know.
She plays
never
Jonah
also-
Hill's wife, who's a total bitch.
Yeah.
Stroke the fuzzy walls.
Someone slips you a Jeffrey.
Okay.
What?
Stroke the fuzzy walls.
That does not sound good at all.
No, it
it's
does not.
amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing. You do not know.
No,
I
I
found the
don't.
daughter.
You should know. Because it's an awesome movie. It's one of those sleepers.
I'm sorry. I'm still perplexed on how the hell did she divide. I don't want to know. It didn't make no damn sense. Stop asking.
What are you bitching about?
He picked. So in the game, Rodden just picked up a piece of
Oh.
rose that's
Now,
been
I
divided
picked that up
into
a
like
while
fours.
ago.
Well, I'm seeing it on
The watch
on
page.
YouTube.
Well, on the
Yeah,
stream, they shouldn't be that much far behind us.
Oh shit!
Like 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah, like 30, 40 seconds, but I did that shit like
Oh,
7-8 minutes ago.
Oh, you
Come
must
on,
have
get-
jumped the.
I must have clicked off and it must have, yeah, because I thought you were there. But still, what the whole point of dividing the baby up?
Yeah.
And then if the baby destroys her powers, wouldn't she have realized that they destroyed her powers when she divided the baby up?
Take that
Or-
45 AARP.
Or wouldn't she have realized that the baby destroyed her powers when she was pretending to be your wife?
Yeah, it's a very convoluted story. Like, it was almost as convoluted as the former Secretary of Defense setting everything in motion and changing someone to look like Ada Wong because she wasn't going to stay with him.
He's that much of a simp for Ada, really?
Yeah, because he takes that one freaking chick and makes her look like Ada Wong through the.
That's another thing.
things
Ada Wong.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about
Resident
the
Evil.
game that
Resident
Rodden's
Evil.
Yeah.
playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ada Wong the whole thing with Ada Wong in general makes just fuck Leon already.
Yeah, right.
Like this on again, off again, friend of me, oh hey, how you doing?
Just bang.
Yeah, just get it out your systems.
I mean, for part of it, like you also had Chris Redfield apparently like off, like almost seems like throwing his sister at Leon.
Yeah.
You two went through an amazing traumatic experience, and I can trust you. You're the perfect guy to marry her. Like, get on that.
I love how she just disappears after the 6th game. After Code Veronica. Just no more.
She's
And
in
then she pops
Revelations
up
too.
She's in both Revelations.
She's not a
No,
photo
she's not.
character in the
I don't
in the
know
first
who
one.
Toby Wong is, Green Badger, but he's asking about Toby Wong.
Toby
Mhm.
Wong. No.
Ada, Ada,
Ada Wong.
the bitch in the red dress.
Yeah, the bitch in a red dress. Who is literally his on again, off again, not really kind of sort of girlfriend. That's not working for Umbrella, but is working for Umbrella.
She works for the organization,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck that means.
Organized D's.
Nuts. What is it? Yeah.
That was gratuitous.
Excuse me. Excuse me again.
I think this is one of the only games that actually puts or one of the few games that actually puts a 1911 in for a Resident Evil game, which I like.
You know what? A remake of a game they'll probably never remake, but they should remake Code Veronica, or
Well-
give it a modern remake because they did do a special edition.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing them do what they did to the 1 and 3 for the original Resident Evil, but they've remade that game like 16 times
Mhm.
and poured it to like
Remade
everything.
expansions, yeah.
Like there's a fucking
If I wasn't so hung up on the game, I would have gotten it. Sorry, Badger.
Reservoir
yeah,
Dogs. That was actually a better movie than I expected.
Oh yeah.
It is the only
Tarantino.
Tarantino movie that I have seen that I have liked.
You
There
never
are
liked the
three
Kill
that
Bills?
I do not like Kill Bill.
I don't blame you on that
I
one.
just-
I need to see Jackie Brown, Django Unchained, and
Why can't I trade with him?
Pick the pink.
this is a bad
I think
sign.
the pink of the pink.
I have the spinning circle of death. Maybe it's
So do
just
I.
my phone.
Oh no,
Nope.
there it goes.
Now it's back.
Buffering.
Well, it's been about 2 hours. So
It has.
I think we're going to call it there. And we had a lot of conversation for a while. And hell, for parts, I didn't even need to talk.
I didn't like Natural Born Killers either, brother. So
I
Yeah.
love that movie. Oh,
Natural Born Killers is one of those things like you should watch at least once. And from everything I've seen, you're either going to love it or hate it. Very few people are just kind of like, eh.
yeah.
That's the Woody Harrelson movie, right?
Yeah.
yeah, Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis.
I mean, I like the fact that it shows him in a quote unquote serious role.
Don't forget, you also
But-
have Robert Downey Jr. as the reporter, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I just can't see Woody Harrelson as anything other than a comedian. Like maybe it's because I watched Cheers as a kid and seeing him there kind of cemented in my mind that he is, the clown.
Actually, dude, if you want to see him in a fucking serious role, watch the first season of True Detective.
Oh, True Detective.
Yeah.
The first season of that show is so good. It took me like 2.5 days to watch.
Yeah, I just got done with season
and
one
then
earlier.
The second season happened, and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't good.
That's the funny part is like from Polydub's like the only one I really hear that likes the second season so much.
It wasn't as good as the first.
It wasn't good.
Okay.
Like I said, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good. It was just there.
It was a movie.
That's a TV show.
TV show.
Oh.
It's like 8
Talking
episodes.
seasons, not sequels.
Yeah.
And instead of like they went the same way with that they did like in the son of a bitch, I can't remember the fucking name of the series. To where it's like each season was a different story. So you had different actors for
American
Horror
Horror
Story.
American Horror Stories, except for they kept the same actors, just had them playing different characters. If I remember correctly, for most of them.
American Horror Story, I at least liked.
Well,
Everything up until Hotel.
once you get far enough into it, you start seeing like ties between the characters and the different stories.
Yeah, you're actually supposed to. It is.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's more closely related than it initially seems.
time is a flat circle,
Yeah, pretty much.
and I'll see you in Carcosa.
Wibbly wobbly.
The King
timey
in
wimey.
Yellow, man.
But we're gonna get out of here because it has been over 2 hours. Next weekend is a son of a bitch movie review, and
Son of a bitch.
and we should be doing Drive Angry if memory serves me correctly.
Yes.
So the
Yeah.
re-review for me and Tier.
My first review, because I've never seen it.
One of the few movies I actually like Amber Heard in.
Yeah.
I actually found him. I think I already told you. Never mind.
Found a what?
What?
The chick that plays Captain Marvel.
Brie
Brie
Larson?
Larson.
I actually found she's not a bad actress.
No, she's
I
not terrible.
saw Kong Skull Island, and it was actually pretty good, and she was not bad.
I mean, she wasn't bad in the 21 Jump Street movie, and she actually
And
smiled.
she wasn't bad in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, she's not a bad actress. She's just a
I
bad.
have
Yeah.
difficulty with the 21 Jump Street movie.
Oh, most people do. Anyone who watched
I
the
was
original
actually
TV
a
show.
really big fan of the TV shows. So
Oh yeah,
the 21 Jump Street movie is a very hard one for me.
Yeah, like the 21 Jump Street movie should have been named something else and it would have worked. And,
Absolutely.
like, even if they'd have had ties to 21 Jump Street, but not called it 21 Jump Street, I don't think it would have been near as hated by some.
Yeah, it was just no. Big no.
take a beloved IP and take a dump on it. That's it's not hard science.
But also don't forget that next weekend or next Monday, not this Monday, but the following Monday next week is Memorial Day.
Yay.
But otherwise, there's a bunch of different stuff you can see. We're everywhere and nowhere almost, it seems like. I got a video coming out tomorrow on my gun channel. Poor Boy Optic update. And next week I should be putting out one about a couple of my 1911s. I should say a
Nice.
couple. I should say a few, since it's showing 3 of them. But we're gonna get out of here. So have a good week and have a good night, folks.
Remember, don't
Bye.
be a goober.
Remember, don't suck on no wooden nickels.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Join us again next week, or you can check out the other people in the panel in the description and see us again plausibly on one of their channels, or just check out what work they've done. Have a good week, everyone.